Alrighty guys, it is time to move on to the next phase of the tarot teachings. We've explained what the minor, the major arcana are, every single card, and always go back and reflect whenever you feel called to. Every video is something that's meant for you to continuously go back to when you feel called. You don't even have to follow 1, 2, 3, 4 with the lesson plan. If you feel like, hey, there's going to be some weeks where I dive into understanding specifically card spreads. There will be days I dive into today, like today, where we're going to talk about companion cards. What you feel called to watch in what order, you do. The only thing I suggest, and again, suggest, make sure you watch the first couple ones first, where it explains all the cards, and then be called to from there. So, today's lesson, we are starting the understandings of what a companion and complementary cards are. Companion cards and complementary cards, okay? So, the difference between a companion card and a complementary card is that when you have two cards, two specific cards right next to each other, there is a combination meaning that is strong, but more than strong. It's like on the verge of destiny energy for these two cards to be placed right next to each other. Most cards are going to be complementary, which is what? The story. Think of each card as a sentence, and when you put the sentences together, it forms the paragraphs, which forms the story, which forms the ending, the beginning, etc. Complementary cards make you understand the in-betweens and not make things just so staple, like, okay, I got the death card, I know that means it's the end of a cycle into something new. What's the new? What are you even talking about? What is the new I'm being called to? The other cards would explain. Is this a relationship? Is this about your career? Is this about a move, etc.? So, the way we're going to be going about the companion cards is very in detail. I think the best way to do it would be going off in order of the major arcana, telling you the pairings. By the whole end of the companion / complementary cards lessons, you will end up being able to know how each one intertwines by simply me doing it this way. Every one video, when it comes to the companion / complementary cards, is going to be center focused on one major arcana card, and I'm going to dive into how that one major arcana card connects to every other card in the tarot. Eventually, by the end, they'll all connect. So, today, what we're going to do, we're going to start with the full card 0 in tarot. And not only will we dive into how the cards pair together, we're going to dive into the numerology and the astrology as well of how the cards pair together. That's going to be a different video though. So today's video is just center focused on understanding how all of the major arcana cards pair with the Fool. Next week, it will be the Fool again, but about the minor arcana, etc. I might even do suits, because these videos are going to be very detailed and long. So, companion cards is going to be absolutely a lesson plan for like the next year to come. But I'm going to make sure to incorporate split lesson weeks. So like 2 weeks of companion cards will be the videos. Then the next 2 weeks I'll do showing you how to make spreads. I'm going to balance it all out. But these companion cards are going to be a big topic. I feel that when you know how to understand those complementary things, it makes reading your story clear as day. And tarot is about continued preparation, continued diving deeper into understanding and evolution. So let's go ahead and do this. Number 0 the Fool. So as we were talking about earlier, the companion cards specifically, how there's going to be one pair to the other, and if they're right next to each other, it's that deep like destiny feeling. So every major arcana card except the Fool tarot card has that. The Fool tarot is all the major arcana. Anyone that's paired to it is talking about a form of destiny, something of deep jump. So let's go ahead and dive into order by order. Now, any companion card that's paired to the Fool automatically means it's something about an unexpected journey, jumping for a leap of faith, a new beginning, simply by being paired with the Fool. When we have the Fool and the Magician paired together, that means it's an opportunity to take a leap of faith mixed with the mastery of the Magician, right? Because the Magician's in control of all planes of their existence. It states an unexpected time to rise to the occasion. Your skills are developing from natural talent. It states your focus and determination has actually already manifested, and is telling you of the potential event. Being ready for you to get out of your comfort zone when you have the Fool and Magician paired together is imperative. It's stating you have a natural talent for something. You have found your craft, and your ability to stay consistent in practicing it has made you master not only the skill, but the confidence and trust in yourself that you know what you're doing. It's stating that there is a law of attraction opportunity that is completely being presented to you, and to not give yourself imposter syndrome that you did make this happen. So think of, I've really been thinking of a good one. Okay. Something about school is just coming up, so we're going to give it a representation of school. Against all odds, one of you here, this is exact message for. Coming from a background where you wouldn't be able to afford college, your grades were good. They maybe weren't straight A's and etc., but they were good, but not what people would consider good enough to get a scholarship, to make yourself stand out more when it comes to grades, which a grading system in school is only really showing how you can take commands and reverberate energy back or words back. It's not actually really about your intelligence of the situation. It's the ability to throw up information back, not that you understand it. Against all odds, somebody here had gotten like a full scholarship to where they were able to live on dorm, get their college paid for them. They went above and beyond, and they had a magical talent for something. So this could have been a sports scholarship, a band scholarship, a scholastic scholarship, etc. And against all odds, what everybody was saying to you, and no matter if you didn't have the perfect grades, the perfect GPA, the finances to pay for half of school, etc., you had it presented to you. That's manifestation and telling the universe, I do not let my physical boundaries stop my visual realization of where I can be. Let's move on to number 2 of this dynamic. Okay, so that would be the Fool paired with the High Priestess. That is a mix of surprise and mystery. That's a path of progression. It's stating you will learn the answers by going forward, not before. It's a time of building trust with your spiritual abilities. When you pull the Fool and the High Priestess together, it is stating that you know what you need right now to continue forward. You don't have to have all the answers. You know that Spirit's going to continuously give you pebbles to follow a path. And the more skills, the more armor, the more tools you need will come with that. It's stating, do not stop now because you don't have all the answers. And the best example I'm feeling called to state is almost a personal one for me. When I started this, I instantly told myself from the beginning, I'm going to do this the right way. The professional mixed with simplicity. The professional mixed with me being authentic and real. And that involved making this a running business, an LLC. I had no idea how to make an LLC when I started this. All I knew is I was meant to do this. And I let the skills form. I didn't know how to handle books and taxes and everything. It was overwhelming, but I knew I could do it. And now it's cakewalk understanding. If I would have let myself, because I didn't know then, to not go forth, number one, never would have learned, because you have to learn so much through experience, and I wouldn't be standing in front of you today, or sitting in front of you today, whatever. That feeling of, I know, I feel I know I will understand as I grow, but this is a hands-on experience type of thing. I can't just learn this from a book. I have to go through it. That's the feeling of the Fool and the High Priestess up hand. That's another thing. Okay, that's why they told me to say that. When it comes to, if we were like to pull reversals, right now, if I would explain to you the up hand of both, the reversal of both, the side, if one's up, one's down, this video would be like 3 hours long. So I'm absolutely going to make notations to help you fill in how it, hey, let's see if we got the Fool. Let's do the first one as a great representation, okay? So if we got the Fool and the Magician both up hand, everything we stated about that is valid. If I were to pull the Fool and the Magician in reverse, the message, the way it would kind of change, etc., is they are still stating this opportunity you have manifested in your life. But the Magician being reverse, it is even a deeper sense of you have to realize that you are not crazy. You are a master manifester. You do have spiritual abilities, and the only thing that will stop the continuation is not believing in that. So, long story short, when it comes to like understanding if the way they're flipped, you can reflect, remember, etc. on what each card means, up hand versus reversal, and pair together, okay, this is why they're working in this way. No matter what, if you got a Fool up hand, it's saying this is a good opportunity. It is saying this is something to go forth with. If I would pull like the Fool in reverse and the Magician up hand, I would state that means you're in the process of manifesting something, that you're going to go through the grind period. But just because you don't have, Spirit's not giving you the signs yet to go full force, leap of faith, they're giving you signs that you're getting in touch with your abilities and your ability to have confidence in your words. But they will, at the right time, present you that leap of faith moment. So you can really infer, by understanding what they both mean up hand, you can infer the reversal and even the sideways. Don't worry, I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now. I'm gonna make sure to make videos like specifically talking about what sideways and the reversals mean, but for the sake of time and order today, we're just gonna do the up hands. All right, so now we're on to the Fool and the Empress, okay? So the Fool and the Empress up hand, starting a complete new skill or starting with a complete new person. The good results are coming quickly with this dynamic. It's saying the harvest is being built and it will take much nurture to keep it thriving. This card, these two cards pulled together is really stating you've never dived into this skill. You don't have a past with this person. And this is a frequency that you have met now and you've mastered, rising from the ashes of some other dynamic. It is always a reading that's stating, slow and steady wins the race, but there's times it's go, go, go. And this energy is of something that your ability to trust each other or the skill, seeing it's a natural talent, forms almost instantly. But with that harvest being built and will take much nurture, think about like a plant. If you overwater a plant, it's gonna die. If you underwater a plant, it's gonna die. You have to find the sweet spot. If you go overboard with this new connection, or make it an insane compulsion or fear-based way of trying to build a skill, saying I have to do this, or I'm gonna suck, I have to put this much time in, if I don't do 30 minutes a day of this exercise, I'm a failure. When you're doing things in that mindset, that is overwatering the person, the skill, etc. When you neglect it, when you decide, okay, I need to work out, I told myself I'm going to work out 3 to 4 times a week, but I'm only actually doing 1 because I'm only doing it when I'm motivated. That is underwatering. Or I'm going to talk to this person, I really care about them, but I'm not going to make time for them in my life. I will only talk to them like once a week, or etc. It's different for everybody, and it's different for every type of relationship, right? Because we have best friends and stuff that we'll go months without talking to. So take that as it is referred to each individual relationship. But when you find that sweet spot of nurture and letting time to dry and be reborn, that is the Empress and the Fool appearing together. Another thing, and when I say this, remember, other factors, other cards will completely come into play. But a lot of times, if you straight up get the Fool and Empress right together, it could mean there's a pregnancy. It could mean there's nonetheless a new life, and that could be, being pregnant with the idea for a new business. Or very well, if it comes to 2 people that are in a relationship or we're just sexually active, etc., it's saying, hey, we may have a bun in the oven. But again, a lot of other factors come into play with that. Now, let's move forward to the Fool paired with the High Priestess. This is a mix. This is a surprise. When these 2 cards are placed next to each other in a reading, what it is stating is there's a whole new path you're embarking. This is going to be a path of following Spirit's invisible map. It's stating that you will learn the answers by going. You can't second guess yourself. You got to just go ahead and state, I have my bag packed. I have the people or the energy, the animal, the protection needed already by my side, the shoes on my feet, and my health at hand, and I can go forth and let everything else flow. It's a time of building trust with your spiritual abilities, so it's testing. It's not testing spirit, it's not testing others, it's testing the waters of what you can do. Because spiritual abilities do enhance as you progress for years and years and years. Your abilities will enhance to the point where people can move physical objects. Am I saying we're doing Magneto here? No. But there are truths within levitation and etc. There is some building that you are to move, even if it's a literal or physical place, etc. The Fool and the High Priestess paired together is letting you know this is a time of not setting limits on yourself. It's a time of following your path and seeing, I don't have to ask to be proven anything. I simply must enact, go on my feet, be ready to climb when I need to climb, be ready to download when I need to download, be ready to rest when I need to rest. The Fool and the High Priestess paired together is meaning you have gotten out of your comfort zone. And you're not being tedious to yourself. You're not nitpicking. You're allowing yourself to be delusional. So if this energy was paired to a person, it's going into... If this energy was paired to a reading that's a love reading with a person, what it's stating is there's somebody you probably never thought you would have an attraction to or some form of bond. Just a person that you had coexisted with for a long time, with friends, school, work, etc. And out of nowhere, spirit guided you to go somewhere. Even if it was just for yourself. It's not that you were going to an event. It's not that you were going to meet up with somebody. You could be going to Walmart. You could be doing something so simple. And when you see each other again, because you both will be there at this simple place where you were just following your map, by staying determined to a state of learning and analyzing and marinating, not just walking, you will see how Spirit brought you to this person at this exact moment, because both of you had gone through some form of spiritual awakening, some form of releasing another part that doesn't serve. And when you two see each other face to face, it's like the first time you actually ever saw each other, truly. This energy, the Fool and the High Priestess, that is a path of embracing what the parasite wants you to think you should fear. It is a path of understanding. Every person that is a master manifester has had to live in some form of being delusional to make their realities come to fruition. So now we're on to the Fool and the Empress, okay? So the Fool and the Empress up hand, starting a complete new skill or starting with a complete new person. The good results are coming quickly with this dynamic. It's saying the harvest is being built and it will take much nurture to keep it thriving. This card, these two cards pulled together is really stating you've never dived into this skill. You don't have a past with this person. And this is a frequency that you have met now and you've mastered, rising from the ashes of some other dynamic. It is always a reading that's stating, slow and steady wins the race, but there's times it's go, go, go. And this energy is of something that your ability to trust each other or the skill, seeing it's a natural talent, forms almost instantly. But with that harvest being built and will take much nurture, think about like a plant. If you overwater a plant, it's gonna die. If you underwater a plant, it's gonna die. You have to find the sweet spot. If you go overboard with this new connection or make it an insane compulsion or fear-based way of trying to build a skill, saying I have to do this, or I'm gonna suck. I have to put this much time in. If I don't do 30 minutes a day of this exercise, I'm a failure. When you're doing things in that mindset, that is overwatering the person, the skill, etc. When you neglect it, when you decide, okay, I need to work out. I told myself I'm going to work out 3 to 4 times a week, but I'm only actually doing 1 because I'm only doing it when I'm motivated. That is underwatering. Or I'm going to talk to this person, I really care about them, but I'm not going to make time for them in my life. I will only talk to them like once a week or etc. It's different for everybody, and it's different for every type of relationship, right? Because we have best friends and stuff that we'll go months without talking to. So take that as it is referred to each individual relationship. But when you find that sweet spot of nurture and letting time to dry and be reborn, that is the Empress and the Fool appearing together. Another thing, and when I say this, remember, other factors, other cards will completely come into play. But a lot of times, if you straight up get the Fool and Empress right together, it could mean there's a pregnancy. It could mean there's nonetheless a new life, and that could be, being pregnant with the idea for a new business. Or very well, if it comes to two people that are in a relationship or we're just sexually active, etc., it's saying, hey, we may have a bun in the oven. But again, a lot of other factors come into play with that. All right, so the Fool and the Emperor. This pairing means unexpected leadership position is being presented to you. It's saying that there's an operation for opportunity, and here's the thing about it. There's two polar opposites needed for the bigger picture. It's about knowing you're going to be put in a leadership position where you have to work with other leaders. It's not being sole in control of something. It's saying new plans and ideas hold great potential. So it's about brainstorming with all these leaders. And a powerful stabilizing manners and fairly rapid advancement. So this is something that it's like, think about getting a movie out on a deadline. I'm sure that the investors, the producers, the directors, the heads of coordination, etc., they have a deadline for things to be done. So to get that in order, they all have to work together and not spend any time questioning everybody's motives, who they are, letting personal life get in the way of business. It's being surrounded by true leaders who meet your frequency, and you all have each other's backs. And there's no time to waste with your parasite trying to make you think people are trying to get something under you or something from you. It's stating that the leadership around you and within self is positive, strong, and trustworthy. It was given to you because you're someone that surrenders your ego at the door. You're human, but when it comes to those make it or break it points and you know things are on the line for yourself, you think from collective, you don't think from selfishness. All right, so another thing, the Fool and the Hierophant is the next pairing. When you have the Fool and the Hierophant paired together, it says there's a free spirit feeling surrounding, okay? There's a person that wants to break free from something. They're feeling constricted by tradition or conservatism. So it's a free spirit, a free mind. It's like somebody who was raised in a fear-mongering religious mindset and has always embeddedly known something's not correct, but I'm afraid to do the wrong thing, so I'm just going to follow what I've been told to do. But internally always knowing this isn't completely correct. Something's not adding up. It's wanting to pick a new path or seeing outside the lines, and it's suggesting that in this type of dynamic, talking to a wise and trusted person who's going to give you good guidance is really recommended. So that could be, let's say, same situation, somebody's been very sheltered their whole life, and they get into high school and they're seeing things and experiencing things they've never had before. They don't feel like they can talk to their parents about it, etc. But there may be that school counselor or that one teacher, etc., that's a safe space and will not cross the line of, hey, I'm going to try to force my universal opinion onto you, versus giving genuine open space advice. The example could be, hey, I grew up Christian and I definitely believe in God and there's something bigger, but it just doesn't, the control factor, some things that are said in the Bible or etc., it hurts to say it because I want to believe that it's not manipulative, but I can't help and think it is. What is that? And that space, that wise, trusted person wouldn't, no matter if they are the same religion or not, they wouldn't say, oh, you're wrong for thinking that. You shouldn't even question, or it's complete, or you're right, it's all fake, blah, blah, blah. No matter what the way they believe or feel, they're not going to throw that universal truth onto the person. They're going to give them a safe space to think. Okay, well, what aspects, what times have these thoughts come to you? What was going on? Did you feel that your soul had to be dried out to make other people's universal truths feel comfortable? A leader that will not try to force anything except give a safe space to think. It's stating, with thinking outside the lines, these types of situations, you're going to have to deal with people not understanding you and being completely okay, and remembering to yourself, probably the people that don't understand you nor want to try are completely lost themselves and are afraid to look within. So you can't care. You can love, you can absolutely love them, but you can't care. Now, the Fool and the Lovers, okay? So this is an unexpected new relationship. A lot of times it really, like, I only really see the Fool and Love paired together when we're in a love reading. It's very rare for it not to be a love reading, for those two to be paired together. So this is arriving in completely unexpected ways. It's an unanticipated source. And for those that are like already in a relationship and you pull this, it states that new potential, like a pathway is being, the pathway forward for you two to continue this dynamic of new potential and moving somewhere, or getting married, starting a family, etc., is that you guys are roller coaster buddies. This is a person that you put your head together with, your equals, and they got your back, and you guys can do this. You just can't let your egos get in the way of hearing each other. Going back to if you're not in a relationship or anything, this is like the dynamic where Spirit's calling you to go somewhere and you really almost, I'm going to upgrade that. So Spirit's calling you to go somewhere, but you don't even, it's not even the sense of, I don't know why. It's not the sense of, I'm being told to go here and I feel like something's going to happen. It's so subconscious that it's like, oh man, I got to go to Walmart. Oh man, I got to go get this. You have no inkling in your conscious state of like, something's going to happen when I go here. It is completely because it's like running an errand, hanging out with your friend, going a different direction for work. It's those types of situations. And somebody is paired with you right in front of you and everything rushes. You're like, whoa, I've never felt this before just by looking at somebody. It's completely out of left field. The Fool and the Lovers is like stating, do not say no to going outside to stay comfortable, because there's always a reason why you're guided, even if it's just a download. The next will be the Fool and the Chariot. So when we have the Fool and the Chariot paired together, that's deep, exciting energy. That is going ahead and letting you know, though, that even though it's exciting and deep, to head and exercise forward with some caution. Because rushing in headstrong to a situation when you're not fully prepared due to inexperience can actually shoot yourself in the foot. It is saying an unexpected opportunity is being encouraged to fully embrace and say, hey, I am meant to do this. But just making sure you're not fully plunging straight in until you've harnessed a certain amount of craft. The way I like to state it is, here's an example. Let's go about an acting career. An actor can get a role, but if they would go in that same exact day that they got the role and didn't know their lines, it would be wasting time. So they have to make sure during their preparation time, once they get their script or etc., their lines, they really remember them and pay attention to them and are ready to go into the shooting day or the interview, etc., with the green light. It's about self-discipline and understanding you are allowed to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. Now, on to the Fool paired with the Strength card. So, when we have the Fool and the Strength card paired together, that is letting you know it's a time to be prepared to pursue a new path. It's quiet determination. It's not loud and abrasive. It's letting you know the new path is going to take complete endurance, and you can handle it. You are prepared. You are trained for it. It's a state of this is a really hard word for me to state. Diplomacy. I have a bit of a speech impediment, which you guys can probably see. And this is this is perfect. There's a reason for this. The example. So, when I was growing up, my speech impediment was far, far worse. My ability to read and etc. was difficult. And I had to take longer. I had to take even like special classes and go to a speech therapist to harness the skills where I could go about school, life, etc. And I had to try maybe a little bit harder than most people. If I would have decided to not stay quiet in my strength and not care as a child when people were making fun of me for being that kid picked in class who didn't read at a steady pace, if I let every time that was an opportunity for me to practice stop, I would have never gone to the point where I knew. I went from being that kid to being able to read and understand like this. I went from that kid who was scared to talk because of their speech impediment to embracing it, because I realized once I embrace my perfect imperfections, etc., I make a safe space for others too. I embrace and I love my speech impediment now because I feel like it almost gives people the ability to see the connection of how you can see somebody with great responsibility, etc., honor being a human. That's you. But Pan is stating, don't care who's laughing. You quietly are mastering your skill. And in due time, you will be able to read your craft like run-on sentences. Just go, go, go. When you pull the Strength card in full, it's stating, remember, the diplomacy, the good grace when dealing with others. A lot of times if people are making fun of you, it's not an excuse, it's an understanding. If people are making fun of you, they're insecure. If people spend their time, ha 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 ha, they're insecure about something. So even though it's hard in their moment to remember that and not let them get to you, that silent courage, that internal strength to not bow up and say, oh, F you, blah, blah, blah. To remember with good grace, hey, this person, they're dealing with something. They're dealing with something. I don't give them an excuse, but I do give them an understanding. It's because humans aren't perfect. I don't know what their home life is like. I don't know how it was growing up for them. I have no reason to judge who they are. I have the choice to understand the way they think of me as a reflection of them. It's not letting anybody get in your head. It's letting your actions and your words speak to themselves instead of your words speaking, if that makes sense. All right. Now, the Fool and the Hermit paired together. So that's appearing to be opposites, but actually you complement each other perfectly. It's a fresh and open mind paired with a cautionary approach, and it's applying wisdom and contemplating the next steps as you move forward. It's somebody that has it's like the pairing of a wise old teacher and a new Karate Kid. It's literally like the pairing, that type of pairing with a master and a beginner. A Padawan, like in Star Wars. This energy is stating that you have a leader you can count on. That with plenty of time, the facts that you gather from them, from seeing their conscious and their subconscious motives, this person speaks, live, and breathes their inner truth. It is a sign that if you are looking for a mentor or a teacher or etc., it's a good pairing, and it's somebody that will honor your time of being in the beginning, the fruitful, the almost naivety of thinking you're going to master everything so fast. It's a leader that understands if I try to dampen that part of them, I'm going to discourage them. I have to make sure I let them express, but in such nurture, compassion, and wise manner. So the Wheel of Fortune paired with the Fool, that's an unexpected twist of fate. It's a surprise element of a lucky break. It's understanding that the circumstances you are in can help you move forward. You don't have to release something to get something. It's venturing to the unknown territory or place, but being accepted and having a deep bond. What I see the Wheel of Fortune is, it's almost like, think of a tribe when they go ahead and initiate a new member. You have to go through quite a bit of trials or tests, etc. And you've gone ahead and you've passed those tests. It's the same example would be like, let's state you took an exam, the end of the year exam for a class or etc., and you're waiting for the results. Like, you've already completed the events and you're in limbo. You're wondering how it's going to go. Am I going to be accepted to this college? Am I going to pass my test? Am I going to be accepted into this tribe, to this group? Exactly. And it's stating to let you know they do want you. The school does want you. You did pass the test. The tribe or the team wants you to join. And within that initiation, this type of energy automatically sees you as one. It is not, you're still an outsider. It is not really any more sense of prudence. It is maintaining. It is you have earned your spot, and now all you must do is maintain the order and balance of how we all love and treat and respect each other. It is stating this is destiny. And you could have not even realized that you were going to meet these people or this situation or join this team. It could be almost also like, let's say like a sports team. Sometimes somebody can get traded and it discourages them. They're like, man, I'm not a good player, etc. I had to get transferred. But then they get transferred to a team that actually thrives. They thrive with and they care about them, and it's a totally different dynamic than the old coach they had, the old teammates where they weren't connected and there was always a prudence. It's like where you were transferred is a true bond, and they made a safe space for you to excel. We can be lone soldiers and still excel more by being in our team. Being a lone soldier does not mean you stay alone. It means you have self-understanding enough to be surrounded by influence and not let it become you. Justice and the Fool paired together. So this, and do not jump to conclusions. You'll see what I mean. And so many people, when they first hear legal matters, etc., they instantly like, and I get it. But that's fear-based mindset. One of the biggest social constructs of this existence is law and order. And somebody having a position to either grant you something or not grant you something. It is fearful mindset. It is. It's part of the order of the world. But the thing is, when you allow the fear of something bad to happen and not accepting okay, I see. Just because you've been in a legal matter in the past where it may have not been the best situation, wasn't something that was in your favor. It could be something that deals with even having to be under a form of supervision or etc. Just because in the past your relationship with the legal system wasn't always on your side or etc. does not mean now it is. If anything, it's exact opposite. You got out of that. You got out of that situation. When new things happen, when new things occur, every time you hear the word legal situation and it's not associated to that, it is a positive thing, it is something going in your favor, you're going to get healed from that. The word legal, I feel, is like so paired in a sense because of society to fear. And we don't have to do that. This means it's dealing with contracts, documents, or agreements, a new agreement, something positive. It's something that's going to advance your life. It's a new contract. It's a need for balance within the mind, within a surprising situation. So just because it's legal doesn't mean it's scary. It's weighing up all the facts and having a balanced approach before making a full decision. It's hearing the facts. And it's understanding I am the exact opposite of who I was in the past. Just because I have little errors in judgment now, or little moments of not fully embracing my intuition because I'm human, does not mean it's going to lead to this drastic thing that's going to destroy your life and etc. A lot of times when I see these two cards paired together, it is a person that had to live on defense and watch their back and etc. And it's telling you, whatever the situation is, it's for you. An agreement is something that's going to shift your reality upwards, higher. Now, the Fool and the Hanged Man up hand together. That's a new beginning that may have a stall to it, okay? So it's checking and then double checking all the details before investing energetically or materially into a project, because it may be left in limbo. It may be somebody who has a lot of thoughts but not planning or action. And it's stating that you could actually end up facing resentment because you didn't reassess this situation. It could be a friend that really wants to start up a company, okay? And you have the money to help them, but something within you is like, I love this person, I care about this person, and I don't want them to think I don't believe in them, but I know myself, and if I invest in this and they take advantage of it, or I don't get my return, there's going to be a conflict within our dynamic, no matter right now if we want it to happen or not. I love my friend, but I know my friend. And I know that they can be very impulsive and make decisions fast without fully thinking them through. So no, I'm not going to invest material-wise into their dynamic. I can send them love and faith and guidance, but not a physical, not a material investment. It's stating that someone also, in a sense, could be leaving out some details, not to they don't realize it. They could be leaving out some details to make the situation go in their advantage, meaning they may tell you that they have a full plan, but they don't, and they're waiting for you to give them money or an idea to branch off of, versus just being real and being like, hey, I have this idea. Do I know how it's going to go about? No, but I'm ready to do every single day of figuring out how do I make this happen, versus someone that's like, oh, I already have all the answers, everything's planned, don't worry about it, because they want something from you, even if they don't realize what they're doing. So the Fool and the Hangman together say, hey, double check, triple check, quadruple check, and go from there. Now we have the Fool and the Death card, okay? So that's something ending as quickly as it began. It's a positive sign for fast change, though. It's a fast connection leading to a life lesson, positively. So the best example I'd like to give is, sometimes we meet people that we have a deep, intimate connection with, and you could even be intimate with. But something within your souls knew we were not going to stay together. We're for a moment in time for each other. And when we separate ways, it's not because it was anything bad. There's just something about, I feel like we got what we needed from each other. And we both are ready to pursue other things. It's like a soulmate, not a divine. It's like when you're in a moment of separation, let's say you're in that stage of separation from the divine that everybody goes through at least one time. That's textbook divine counterpart journey. And you meet a soulmate during that time that you can be intimate with and go through some hurdles of mental barriers together, because there's this sense of like, we know right now in this moment we're committed to each other, but it's not forever. There's an ability to really learn and talk about things that we experience with other connections, and kind of like put the dots together with each other's minds. It's almost could even be a healing sexual experience where you realize, I don't need to know something's forever to go ahead and surrender right now in this moment to the intimate connection. It's somebody that you have that experience with, you download, and you go forth. Another example would be like a job. So think about having a part-time job and you only worked there for a little bit, maybe just a couple of months, and then something else better came. It was like a stepping stone. It's like you learned some skills in that job that you would have not learned if you didn't experience it. But because of that job, another opportunity was presented to you way before you thought you'd ever get it. And it ended up leaving this one position to go to a whole other company, etc. It's not that you didn't like the job or the people. You could have it could have been some of the best management, etc. you ever had. But you knew you were meant for more. And whatever you needed to learn, you learned in months. And normally that tends to be the position where it's like you put your 2 weeks in and etc. And they're like, hey, if you ever want to come back, you got that spot. We have your back. If you're meant to go forward, do it. But know that if there's ever a chance or whatever that you would want to come back, you got it. Most of the time you won't, but just knowing that that's there, you won. You passed. And you have friends in every corner. Now, the Fool and the Temperance. This is a recommendation to take a more moderate approach and look before leaping. It's applying patience and moderation within a situation, okay? And it's about this situation bringing harmony that really does require measured moves versus rushing into an event. So it's keeping and maintaining consistency. It's a path that's unexpected, but it's completely going to lead to healing and a reward. So the Fool and the Temperance up hand is stating you do know what you want to do. But for you to do it correctly or smarter, not harder, it's going to take some energy or even financial investment before you can do anything. So think about it this way. You want to be a chef, but you don't have even the supplies. You don't have the right type of knives, etc., to really dive into that craft. You have to tell the universe, I am worth it. I am dedicated to this. You will approve me for a loan to get my thousands of dollars, whatever, worth of equipment. I have thought long and hard about this. I want to do this, and it is worth having that moment of owing something to receive. It is stating, before you sign up for the class, make sure you have the tools or etc. to get you there. It's like if you're going on a road trip, right at the beginning you want to fill the gas tank up as full as you can so you don't have to stop earlier than need be or cause yourself more inconvenience. It's instead of getting in the car and just going and not even looking at the gas, look at it, fill it up, and then proceed forward. Now we have the Fool and the Devil, okay? So remember, the Fool card is a frenzy card, or the Devil card is a frenzy card for me. So I'm going to absolutely tell you the traditional way of how these two would be paired, but then my frenzy way as well. And we always use our discernment based off the other cards, etc. So the Fool and the Devil, complete traditional way, is a warning regarding a new beginning. It's saying you may want to avoid this. It's being trapped by inexperience, and others connected to you may not be honest or honorable regarding their intentions towards you. So it could be like a leader who looks for insecure people to take advantage of them. It's someone that's going to promise you, hey, you're going to get this certain amount of days a week. You'll have this amount of days off, but then they make you go above and beyond. And if you don't take all these extra shifts and work your weekends and etc., like they'll threaten to be firing you and etc. It could be something that somebody can tell you're inexperienced in, and they can take advantage of you. And the job is not going to benefit you, right? I get that. And depending on the pairing of other cards, I would honor that. The frenzy card meaning of the Fool and the Devil paired up hand. People are stating that the new path is wrong. It's going to lead to destruction. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Because they're telling you this not because they want you to fail. It's because the exact opposite. They want you to succeed. And it's unknown territory for them. It's fear. It's, hey, I've lived my life safe, so I'm going to try to tell you to live your life safe because I love you. And I don't realize that I'm actually destroying your dreams. And you see past all of that. And understanding, no, I got to follow it. This is the right path for me. And your opinion or etc., it will change when you see the success that comes with me believing in myself and taking this less paved path. Now, the Fool in the Tower. And the Tower is what? A frenzy card for us as well. So, traditional. The Fool in the Tower up hand means we have a highly unpredictable and unstable foundation. It's about shocks and surprises right at the beginning of a new dynamic. So, it's like one of those relationships that it's really hot and heavy. You guys could have great sexual encounters together, etc. It's going all good. And then out of nowhere, it's like, whoa, this person's got a lot of baggage. There's a lot of stuff they were keeping from me. And instantly you're kind of like, what am I going to do here? Am I going to go down this can of worms, or am I kind of just going to say, you know what, it's time to head out before things get too rough? Again, compared to what other cards are surrounding it, I would accept that universal truth. But I'm saying that so I don't influence you to feel like you have to do my frenzy card meaning. Because for me personally, the Tower is one of those, like, I really believe and feel everything in my being that it's meant to be good for you. It's not destruction. It is stating, hey, you know what? This ending, you did not put yourself in a position to have no return. That you had that fling, you had that experience with that person, and you are seeing that they could be a wild card, if you will. But I'm going to leave the situation with my head high. And I'm not going to just leave this person in limbo. I'm gonna explain to them. I'm gonna be mature and say, hey, our paths have rolled to each other, and now we're gonna go separate ways. It's not necessarily always a person, though, that won't end up coming back in your life. A lot of times it's a person where you do separate for further growth, and they learn to control their compulsions, their words, their anger, and you could find your way back to each other. A lot of times, like, the Tower with traditional would mean like you're done, and it was like a bad ending. So that's my universal truth when it comes to the Tower. So the Fool and the Tower frenzy summed up. It's a new idea or opportunity that fell down fast to explore farther and research. So it's a constant change of a person's dependability. You're seeing that and stating, we both got to go. We've received a lot of downloads with each other. I can see us becoming defensive. We got to analyze the information we just received, not rush into making a decision and speaking through ego. But separation absolutely needed in that situation. Now we have the Fool paired with the Star. So the Fool paired with the Star is a favorable and unexpected opportunity, right? It's a bright blessing. It's made by the stars, and it's about not being afraid. It's not being afraid to take the power that you have been bestowed and make it a front face understand it. It's promising the adventure and worker love is paving a new path to combining your human self and your bigger purpose. It's a destiny mission for your soul. So the Fool and the Star, it's really about like waking up almost from a dream and having a complete download of, I know how to do this. Something I've been searching for years for the answers. Some download just happened, even by going to a certain place and having just this aha moment of how to spread your wings open. And it's not allowing yourself to think you're being delusional. You have to believe that this idea was implemented into your mind specifically for a reason, because you have a message that other people cannot receive unless you download, analyze, and reverberate it out. The Fool and the Star is a deep sense of inner inspiration and taking that idea and making it a reality for other people to see the shine of. The Fool and the Moon paired together. Now that's looking before leaping. That's elements of secrecy or something hidden in the intentions of the path. It's someone being dishonest to receive your help in a new project. It's not necessarily like malevolent will, though. It's more worry. So as we paired earlier, that card, the Fool and the Temperance, where it's about that double checking and etc. Because the person is more subconsciously trying to tell you what needs to be said or keep details out to get that help. The Fool and the Moon is somebody that's more like completely aware of what they're doing and feels really guilty actually about it. And you can almost allow, you don't really know it, but you can allow that dishonesty, because you can see that it's not intentional, stop you from seeing things clearly. Like, the video stopped recording, so now we're fast forward in the future a little bit, and we're going to finish where we left off. All right, so we left off at the Full and Moon paired together, and it was stating about somebody being like in a woe me mindset, worrying far more about what will happen if they give you the truth versus actually just going ahead and presenting to you what is going on, the reality of the situation, to find a way forward. Okay, now the Fool and the Sun paired together. This is what this means up hand. Complete new path leading to happiness and contentment. It's about shining success worthy of your time. It's initially feeling wobbly, but it brings happiness into your life that you've been seeking, but you have to be willing to like work. In a love reading, the Fool and the Sun, I would state that as you have found somebody that's a potential tango partner, if you've ever heard me state that. A tango partner is somebody who has chosen to do the same genre of dance of life, if you will, practices on their own time, so when you two are together you can make magic happen, and then you practice on your alone time as well. And that means personal growth, spirituality, diving into just educating yourself, somebody that meets the frequency of you. It means that this person and you could have maybe some trust issues, understandable trust issues or triggers that you two will overcome together. So that's that wobbly phase, but this is going to bring happiness, and this is something to prevail through, and this is a person that has pure intentions in your life. The Fool and the Sun paired together is letting you know you're like in the beginning of a relationship that's going to go through ups and downs for the best of reasons, not toxic. If it was a new job, I would state it's like you have been presented a job where you know where you're going to be, but you have to take some steps to get there. And that's telling yourself, just because I'm here doesn't mean I have to take as long as everybody else that before me to get here. You could jump and move, but you have to be willing to do that dance. Now, the Fool and the Judgment card paired together. So the Fool and the Judgment card paired together is about opposites that completely complement one another. It's about an unexpected opportunity that is bringing a situation back on your map, right? So reconciliation was someone you knew as your old self, and also your free will decisions on both ends led to you two meeting in this higher frequency in your new reality. It's completely unplanned. It's completely unplanned by the human, but more than prepared by the soul. So the Fool and the Sun, that as a representation in love, that's more of like a new dynamic, a new person. Fool and Judgment paired together is an old energy where you two knew the old versions of yourself. You could have been dated or been friends or talked, etc., separated for a long time, and then out of nowhere you are at the same event, the same restaurant, the same job, the same course, etc. And even though you had no intention of your mind, when you two saw each other, something clicked. This was planned. Like, planned. I was guided to come here. Spirit showed me when I just simply go the path and don't question my decisions anymore, and decide nothing is always one way, meaning you flew away from a connection that you thought there could have been a possibility, you never would have been back together. But internally, you had this sense of like, this is my home base, this person and I, it's right person, and it is right time, because there's really no right person, wrong time. It's right person, right time, because if you two would have stayed together, there would have been life experiences you didn't have. You both had different life paths to take, and experiences and souls you had to meet that if you were with somebody else, it wouldn't have been possible. If you would have been with somebody at all, it wouldn't have been possible. So for a lot of you, you're probably resonating. If I just feel a big pull about this card for somebody that is in this lesson today. It's very much about, you made a free will decision to let somebody go. You didn't necessarily give up on it. You let it go and decided, hey, I am happy no matter what. And I love that person. I can love them from afar. And I'm going to go forth in my life, and I'm not going to let my mind stir crazy about them. And if one day we find our way back together, we do. And it's about that moment that you do. But you'll have to take that leap of faith and follow the guidance. Now, lastly, but definitely not leastly, that is the Fool paired with the World up hand, right? So those two cards paired together, the Fool and the World. It's a highly successful result in a relatively short period of time. It's about being new to a job, a situation, but it's complete second nature. It's basically leading to, it's a sense of surviving success. And what I mean by that is, it's not something that is a one-hit wonder. It's something that has longevity, and you can even pass down. A lot of times when it comes to building a relationship, it's stating this person, you two probably went through so much life experience before meeting each other that you were able to skip quite a few steps that you may have had to go through with other relationships or friends or etc. in the past. Your dynamic, it was like two very mature souls that know how to get to the key of their own issues. So therefore it makes so much of the ego that could try to fight you two and keep you two apart not even exist. The Fool and the World being paired together is stating that it's a complete ability to win your situation, and you gain valued success no matter, no matter if you have heard of this before, this skill, no matter if you've never touched this instrument or gone down a spiritual path. It's like things come to you naturally. So it's kind of like in the beginning of a spiritual awakening when you figure out what your abilities are. How did I know my instinct was to look there, to pick that? How do I know I heard something that wasn't necessarily here in the 3D, but it's real still? The Fool and the World paired together is saying you are meant to pursue something you never needed to learn the craft for because it was embedded in your DNA. It's the aha moment when you were like, this is what I'm meant to do with my life. This is what I'm meant to do. And that doesn't mean I wouldn't be successful in other ventures, but this is what I'm meant to do. This is a situation that may feel like I have to put the salt on the wound to another person or an aspect of life, but it's actually pouring alcohol on a wound to disinfect it. And it's going to burn, but you have to do it. The Fool and the World paired together is stating you don't have to go off knowing exactly what to state. You don't have to go off knowing exactly where to go. The Fool and the World is letting you know to speak from the heart, move from the heart, and believe in more than just your mission, your dream. That you can have your cake and eat it too. Again, depending on the other cards that are paired with these two is where you would know if it's a love reading, a spiritual guidance reading, a mediumship reading, a career reading, etc. But that is what we have for today. So next week, we will still be diving into the Fool, but we're going to go suit by suit. So next week, we're going to be diving into how the Fool is paired with every single other card in the Wands suit, in the Minor Arcana. We're going to have the next couple of lessons be about the Fool. Probably have 2 suit. So the next 2 weeks will be 2 suit companion card understandances. Then I'm going to switch to doing a card spread video, and I think I will do it like that from there. So 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 of the companion cards, 2 of how to do certain types of spreads and interpret them, etc. to keep it balanced. Alrighty guys, that's what I got for you. And I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.